Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for a visit to the West Quoddy Lighthouse, which is the easternmost point in the contiguous United States. But before we continue further, let's enjoy the first sunrise of the day. The landmass across from us is Mainland Island, and that's located in Canada across the Bay of Fundy. We'll take in some more views of the lighthouse here. The current West Quoddy Lighthouse was constructed in 1858. The striped tower is about 49 feet tall, and the third order Fresnel lens is visible for up to 18 miles offshore. Now, quoddy is an indigenous word for a piece of favorable land, and the west descriptor distinguishes this lighthouse from the East Quoddy Lighthouse on the other side of Campobello Island across the Quoddy Narrows, and again that's in Canada. The tower has been fully automated since the 80s, so there's no keeper here. Now, there is a museum inside the former keeper's house, and the other building here is a gift shop, but we won't be going in either of those. So why is the easternmost point in the United States not the best place to catch the first sunrise of the day? On the map, there are 3 places in the mainland US where you can see the first sunrise of the day in the United States, and they are the West Quoddy Lighthouse where we're at. Also, there's the summit of Morris Hill Mountain, which is much farther north in Maine, and third, there's the summit of Cadillac Mountain, which we hiked up to a couple of videos ago when we visited Acadia National Park. You might be surprised to find that even though the West Quoddy Lighthouse is farther east than either of the other 2 locations, you can only see the first sunrise of the day here about 6 or 7 weeks out of the year. Now, that is partially because of the elevation at the lighthouse is only about 44 feet, whereas the elevation of the summit of Morris Hill Mountain is over 1,700 feet, and the elevation of Cadillac Mountain is over 1,500 feet. While you do have a much greater viewing distance at those summits, that doesn't exactly tell quite the whole story. As we zoom in on the Earth here, you can see very clearly the axial tilt of the Earth as it rotates here in space. In addition to the seasons resulting from the Earth's axial tilt, the tilt is a big contributor as to why the lighthouse doesn't usually see the first sunrise during the year. Here's a graphic I borrowed from NASA showing the axial tilt in relation to the sun during the summer and winter solstices. In the summertime, the North Pole is pointed most directly towards the sun, and then in the winter it's pointed the farthest away. As we zoom in here, you can see compared to the winter, in the summer for the northern hemisphere, the sun will rise more northerly, and then it will rise more to the south in the winter. Now, I don't believe there's really a situation where the sun rises in the winter time in Florida before it rises in Maine, so I do think this graphic is a little exaggerated. Nevertheless, the axial tilt combined with the altitude of those 2 mountain summits is why for the majority of the year, those 2 locations actually see the first sunrise of of the day, as opposed to the most eastern point in the mainland US. Mars Hill Mountain is going to be the spot during the summertime due to its more northerly location, and then Cadillac Mountain is the place to be during the winter time. And that again only leaves a few weeks around the spring and fall equinoxes for the West Quoddy Lighthouse. Visiting will be good any time of the year, as again it's the most eastern point, but after the fall equinox from about September 20th to October 6th, I would say that's the absolute best time to visit this location, and that's when I filmed this video, so you definitely saw the day's first sunrise at the beginning of this video. I hope you found that info interesting and helpful. As we view the lighthouse here a little bit later in the day, we're now going to go on a quick hike since the lighthouse is actually located in a state park. Here's a quick look at the map. Now we're only going to go on the Coast Guard trail that you see in the upper right. You can see there is a much longer inland trail, but I just didn't have time to be able to complete both trails on this day. So I'm hoping this will get us a better view of the lighthouse. I don't know, we'll see what's up. So that's a pretty cool view. I believe that is Canada. That's over my shoulder, my right shoulder. Be to your left. Okay, but I can kind of tell we're not going to get a better view of the lighthouse, so I'm going to go ahead and turn back. Okay, so hey, if you're enjoying this content, I appreciate it so much. If you'd please give me a like, please consider subscribing if you want to see more videos. I'm on my way to 50 national parks, so if you're interested in that, you're definitely going to want to subscribe and turn on the bell for notifications. If you've been to Maine and you have a special memory, I'd really love to hear about it. So please leave any special memories of Maine in the comments below. And if you have any special tips or really nice locations to visit in Maine, I'd also like to hear about those also. So please leave those in the comments below as well. Thank you so much, and let's continue with the video. We did see the one bluff lookout there, but then I saw this danger sign, and you know, that's almost like an invitation. So let's go make a detour. At the end, we're treated to another terrific view here from above the shoreline cliffs, and from this angle, we're looking across the Quoddy Narrows. Absolutely recommend the West Quoddy Lighthouse. It's only about 60 or 70 miles from Acadia National Park, so if you have extra time and you're visiting the park, it's worth the drive out here for sure, and then it's an extra bonus if you can see the first sunrise of the day. Also, the park operates on the honor system, and there is a small fee. I think it's about $5 to get a map, but I believe it was well worth it. And now we're going to get back on the road in the van and move on to the next adventure. I appreciate you so much for joining me for this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks and take care. Bye.